today I have a special guest. I have Sherry here. I recently wrote a book, and Sherry is my editor, and she did a fabulous job, and I was so happy to work with her. So welcome, Sherry. I'm going to just give a brief introduction so you guys, as an audience, have a really good background of who Sherry is and what she does. So Sherry is a ghostwriter of memoirs and she's a certified sports nutritionist. She has written over 200 books for CEOs, business owners, natural medicine doctors, and clinical nutritionists. She also offers complete editing services, including content and development editing for authors. She specializes in memoirs. She captures the author's voice in creating his or her book, which leaves a legacy that really inspires readers. She's also a Reiki healer, a nationally certified Pilates, yoga, and group exercise instructor, and author of 2 healthy cookbooks, Eat Right, Feel Good, Lose Weight, Have Fun, You Won't Be Hungry, and Soy, You Want to Lose Weight. It's available on Amazon.com. Her business expertise, extensive background in business, she's owned 7 McDonald's restaurants, 14 World Gyms, and Smoothie Kings in 5 states. I'm really happy to hear that you moved from McDonald's to gyms.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was a big event.
She also has served on-air nutritionist for QVC television in the United States and the UK, appeared on CBS, ABC, and NBC, hosted her own weekly Healthy Living segments for PBS for many years, and was a national spokesperson for natural health products on television and radio. I am so thankful to have you here, Sherry, and to get to know you. It's been pretty amazing.
Thank you, Beka. I feel the same way. The same way.
So I just wanted to open up, maybe, we got a good background about you, but you can give us a little bit of background more about how you got into book writing and editing as a profession.
Yeah, I've been a writer for as long as I can remember. I think we all are, but I really took it to, the next level. Started writing articles, got requested to write articles for various magazines in the health field. And as a result of that, I realized that I had a knack for it, and enjoyed the process. And from there, I ended up writing my very first book on alternative methods of healing.
Oh.
And the gentleman I wrote it for absolutely loved it, and even asked me to do another project later on. And I thought to myself, you know what? I like writing books more than I do writing articles.
Oh.
So that's how I got into that. And then as a result of being a sports nutritionist, I ended up writing a lot of books for doctors that needed a book to go along with their practice. And it had to be written in a conversational manner, in layman's terms. And oftentimes I would either take their research or their content and write it in layman's terms, or they would just basically give me a basic outline. This is what I want to discuss. And then I would create the book for them.
Amazing.
So I've written a lot of books for doctors and nutritionists, and scientists, actually, a lot on their research. So I enjoyed that. And then it's probably in the last couple years where I started writing memoirs, and found that I really enjoy that, and enjoy getting to know my authors and the process of interviewing them and all that.
Yeah. So you went from articles to writing books, right?
Yeah.
And writing a book is a lot more of a commitment,
Yes, it is.
to organizing things. And I just have realized that from my journey for doing my first book and having to, you have to be a lot more patient and put some structure and some real thought behind what the message is that you want to get and who you're speaking to. There's a lot that goes into writing a book. So
yes, that's where the ghostwriter comes in.
Yeah, that's where your expertise comes in. You help the person to put it all together.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about your experience with editing the book that I had written, because for me, the experience that I had when I was writing it was was pretty profound. The book is called AI for the Soul, and basically we're looking at how we can reset our operating system, or the way that we think, overcome our limiting beliefs, right? AI stands for affirmations and intentions. So would you share a little bit more about your experience? Because when I was writing all of these affirmations and just deep in the book, like, it was really helping my mindset to to think, these I am statements. So yeah, share with me a little bit about your experience when you were editing the books.
Yes, well, first of all, I love your book. It is something that I actually like to refer back to on a regular basis and go back through, and I found the affirmations very, what's the word, inspirational and motivating to actually use them. And for me, I found that you're right. Afterwards, I would feel more peaceful because I read through them all, and it actually, I took time to absorb them. I took the time at the end, even looking at the images that we added to it. It also helped me to, be peaceful, for example, at the time, or whatever the case may be. So I definitely enjoyed that part of it.
Awesome. So in the book, we go, how it's organized is, right, there's a chapter for each value. We have love, joy, peace, and then we also have kind of a science, behind affirmations and how it affects even your health, and how you can essentially heal through it.
Yes.
So you shared one of your stories that was very inspiring in the book as well, about your healing journey, and how you use affirmations to kind of bring healing to yourself. If you want to share that story.
Oh my gosh. That was so long ago. That's how long I have been doing, using my mind to heal. It was probably now, it's got to be close to 40 years ago when this happened. So I developed.
You can't be that old.
Well, thank you. You made my day. When I looked down, I had to tally how many hours I've been, or how many years I've been teaching fitness classes, and I'm like 41 years.
Wow.
I've been teaching that long. And so anyways, so this was a long time ago, like I said, and I developed a wart on my thumb, and it wasn't going away, and I just was like, gosh. So I kept going to the dermatologist. He would freeze it off. It would still not go away. And if anything, it would just continue to hurt, and it was bothering me. Well, I was still teaching a bunch of classes. Predominantly, back then I was teaching, high impact cardio, which was back in the day, that was, the thing to do. Body pump, HIIT classes, all that. Well, snapping your fingers is part of the, process when I would teach. And I'm thinking, well, snapping my fingers isn't helping this. Anyways, so I'm getting ready to teach another class, and I have the television on with Good Morning America on. And we're interviewing a doctor that wrote the book, The Healing Brain. And my ears perked up, and I went and listened to the segment, and he said, yes, I've cured everything from asthma to warts in people. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I ran to the bookstore after class, bought the book, read the chapter on warts, and he had 678 patients all dealing with a wart. And he basically just told them to every day say, wart go away, wart go away, wart go away, wart go away. And they had to say it 10 times, and they had to say it every day. Well, all their warts were gone in 6 to 8 weeks. Wow. Every single one. Well, I decided I'm going to say it in the morning when I got up, on the way to work, on the way home from work, at lunch, anytime I took a break. I mean, I said it 10 times each, every day. And a couple things happened. One, I got really good at it. It became a chant, if you will. Wart go away, wart go away. So I got really good at saying.
Start singing it.
Yeah. And then the next thing was, this is very weird, I felt a tingling sensation going from my head down my arm into my thumb.
Wow.
similar to what I felt when the doctor was freezing it off, but this
Hmm.
didn't hurt
Hmm.
like the freezing off did.
Yeah.
Um, and my wart was gone in 2 weeks,
Wow.
never to return again.
It's
So I'm at the, about a month after that, I was at the health fair that they had in our community,
Mhm.
and my dermatologist was there at work in a booth. And he's just this mild mannered, tortoiseshell glass wearing, really quiet man, you know. And I go running up to him with enthusiasm and just said, Dr. Williams, my wart's gone, my wart's gone. And he's looked at me and he's like, okay, well, what did you do? So I tell him the story and he says, well, that's wonderful, Sherry. I'm happy for you because I can't very well just send my patients home and tell them to say, wart, go away. I'll be disbarred or my license will be taken away. And I said, well, why did it work? And he goes, because you believed in it and
Hmm.
you activated your own immune system to kill the virus in the thumb.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So,
It's
and
just
ever since then, I got involved in alternative methods of healing
Hmm.
as a result of not only writing that book, but just that experience alone.
Yeah. It's amazing. Even this picture in my mind of when you were saying like how you felt that tingle, and so like how our internal body communicates, all of our systems from a very subtle level is communicating within our system. So when we're so powerful and our creators with our words, right? So if we imagine something and then we speak it, how that the power that can manifest to
Yes.
what those desires that we want to fulfill. And
Yes.
so that can be applied to many things, from our intentions, right? The intentions that we're setting to our body, that you were putting this intention that I want to heal it, and then you said, yeah, like you have to believe in it too, right? It's
Yes.
not just speaking the words plainly. I mean, somebody else might have saw the same experience and said, oh, I'm just going to repeat these words, but they didn't believe,
Yes.
that it's possible. So when you speak it, you also have to have this level of belief that it's possible, and then trusting our body that it's such an intelligent organism,
Right.
you
Yes.
know, to be able
Exactly.
to respond, to heal us.
Yes.
Um,
You know, one thing that doctor said that for some people, he goes, especially, he goes, no offense to men, but he said men are visual,
huh.
obviously. And he said, so for them to just say the words might not be enough.
Hmm.
And so he suggested a visual for them.
Hmm.
And he said, for example, visualize a bulldozer bulldozing as you say it, bulldozing the wart off as you
Hmm.
say the words. So adding that visual element worked for men in his
Hmm.
group. I didn't have to do that, but
Yeah.
it was just another thought.
That's a good point, because I'm a very visual person as well. So, um, imagining like, light coming to a certain place in your body. And a lot of times, if you're doing like, um, we do that when we're doing like chakras or the
Yes,
sounds and going down from the root all the way up. There's the vibrations of sound that actually heals your body.
yes,
And then also the imagery that helps. So there's many different facets, right, that we can use. Imagery is huge. So I'm glad that you made that point. And something that will work for one person, it'll be different for another person, because we're all such unique beings, right? So
exactly.
it could be something else, visualization or something else that would help you.
Sure. Something that
Very,
resonates with that person. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Um, so after you were editing the book, and there was affirmations based off of values, do you have one value that was your favorite or that stood out to you the most?
Well, they all were wonderful, but I have to say the one that resonated with me the most is peace.
Hmm.
Because for me, that supports me through all the challenges that we all face.
Yeah.
But no matter what the storm you're going through, or whatever it is, or whatever the challenge is, um, it allows us to remain calm
Yeah.
and composed. And when we're calm, then we're not triggering other things to happen within our bodies, for example, or our mind for that matter. Um, and it just helps for me, for the peace. I find that by focusing on my breath. When I teach yoga, I always say, you can actually form a relationship with your breath.
Yeah.
And call upon it whenever you need it. And on those times when, I always want to take a deep breath. And when you need it, it does bring that calm and that peace. And that helps me have a clear mind, get clarification, maybe especially if you have to make a decision on what to do, and something. But it also, for me, brings harmony, like, you've mentioned in every experience. So that resonated with me the most.
Peace has been definitely a huge thing for me too lately, and practicing that, because it's not easy in this fast-paced world right now. We're all just on go, 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 and like you said, like, we can be going too fast, and then we're overwhelmed and we're stressed, and then we don't make the best decisions.
Yeah.
But when we take step backs, take that deep breath, be more connected to the space that we're in, and then the thoughts flow, clarity comes more freely.
Yes.
It's a great deal too of, like, I feel like, surrender.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't control everything. So it's like, how can you be at peace when you're in a very challenging situation? Like, so what do you do, like, when you're in just like a complete struggle to try to find that peace?
Yeah, I have learned to kind of stop, hit that pause button, as they say.
Yeah.
And and I do take time to focus on my breath, and I find that that's probably what my yoga practice has taught me more than anything else. And then I will start maybe asking myself questions almost like I'm trying to be my own best friend.
Yes.
In a situation. Or if I feel like I do need to call on someone, then I will call on someone that I know I can just kind of, talk it through.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'll talk to my husband about it too, and sometimes, like how men, they always want to solve it. Well, I don't always necessarily want him to solve it, I just want to talk about it. And then the solution will come.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably, the most benefit I get. But I find if I'm not peaceful, then making a decision or gaining clarity just stays at bay.
Yeah.
So I find the peace helps me to,
yeah,
calm down and make a good choice.
And what is one of the values that you would say you struggle with the most?
That is so easy. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, patience. I am not a patient person. I really am not, and especially driving. Probably because I grew up in Detroit and I'm now living in Southern Maryland, and I'm like, you drive in Detroit and it's like everyone's on Mach 1. You move. Everyone moves. I mean, I even remember when I took driver's ed, when they taught us how to get on the freeway, you move. Well, that's not the case here. And so, I mean, and like if the speed limit is 40, I'll get behind someone doing 38.
Just to test your patience.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, are you even stepping on the accelerator? And so that is probably the one thing I struggle with, and I really have to now what I do, because it was really bothering me, I was like, I've got to figure out a way. There's nowhere to go. It's a 2-lane road. We live in one each direction. And we live in farm country, and so the farmers are just not in a hurry, right? And I'm like, okay, well, they're not in a hurry, so I need to kind of all right, rest or calm it down a bit. So what I end up doing is using cruise control. And then I'll just focus on the sky and the trees and the sunny day or whatever. I might call someone just to...
You know why? I can relate to you, because I realize too, I can be very patient when it comes to some things, but when it comes to other things, I am not patient at all. And I think it could be also because, you're very intelligent, so you're a thinker, and you move fast, right?
Yes.
So being in that space, you just want to move fast. And
Right.
if something is slowing you down, you don't want to be boxed in. And it kind of puts you in this cage, and you want freedom. That's how I feel. Like, I just want freedom to move and go. And then there's this surrender, okay. Okay. And then I like what you said, because then you stop and you divert your energy and you observe.
Yeah.
Like what you said, you're observing what's around you and nature. And I think that's one thing, like for me too, that helps me to stay more grounded, is just to be in nature, because it doesn't move much.
Well, it's in perfect harmony.
Yeah.
When you think about it, when you go outside in nature, everything's in perfect harmony.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting along. The trees are making room for that. They'll grow around the rocks or through the rocks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like everything's in harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
So back to just affirmations. Is there any affirmations that you kind of utilize every day?
Yes, I have one that I'll share with you as my favorite.
Okay.
I give myself permission to receive new levels of love and abundance in all areas of life. I grant permission to my angels to bring me surprises and miracles to remind me that I am worthy of great love, abundance, and good health. I actually added good health in that as well. And so it is done. And then I just feel what that feels like.
Yeah.
Feel that the blessings are coming, or they're here, and they are here already. It's a blessing to be on the show with you today, on the podcast, and just, share what we know.
Yeah. I find when I start the day with the affirmations, it really puts me in this mindset, and kind of like how you were saying, you're visualizing already, or you're saying like that these angels, or you're gonna get surprises and stuff. So it's like you're opening yourself to receive, to
Yes.
I think, and I like what you said, like that you're worthy to receive that, and that can be a normal for us. I think it's our birthright in a sense.
Yes.
And it's only our own limiting thoughts that keep us from receiving, what is around us.
Exactly.
And being present with that.
One thing I learned the other day, someone that I was just watching, I'm always looking for different affirmations and what they, resonate with me. But one thing someone told me is that the best time to do an affirmation is actually before you go to bed, because it's going to affect your subconscious mind as opposed to the conscious mind when we're awake and alert. And when the subconscious mind is open to receive, then that's a good time. So one thing to say before you go to bed, universe, what are you going to surprise me with? Or something like that, what's coming up, or what would you like to share with me?
Yes.
Yeah. So.
One of my my colleagues, Lakshmi, we were talking about this as well, and the timing of affirmations, and she made a really good point, kind of to yours too, as far as like when, and she was like, we're always speaking affirmations every day to ourselves, and like, just what is the percentage of the affirmations that you're speaking that is giving value to you versus the ones that aren't?
Yes.
So it's kind of just having that awareness when you go throughout your day, whether you're starting with them, and then I like what you say, like ending with them, so it's in your subconscious, but just understanding the value of like all that we are thinking and projecting is manifesting.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Our thoughts are powerful.
Yes.
Our thoughts are powerful. And you know what? I even noticed it even in our plants. I've made a point of going out and talking to them. In fact, I was doing that the other day, and I realized the neighbor was walking by, and I'm wondering, who are you talking to? Anyway, but I've noticed since talking to them, like the rhododendrons just took off. I mean, more blooms came out. I mean, it really significantly different
Oh
is all I
yeah,
can say.
there's a scientific study that I think it was in a school. I can't remember the exact details, but they put one plant in one area and one in the other, you know, and they had like a sign. It was a study like speak good things to this plant, and then speak, you know, bad things to this plant, right?
Yeah.
And then they showed that over time, the plant that you spoke good words to actually grew taller and was more
Yeah.
beautiful and stuff. And then and I love that you brought that up too, because I recently I don't know, it was on Instagram, some tree person, and they've been posting videos about how when they talk to the trees all the time, and then they ask the trees to come closer to them, and the literally you see in the video the leaf comes closer to her face
Oh my
when she's
gosh.
talking to them. And so I was kind of inspired by that. And actually, this morning I went out to this trail that I go to that I like, and there's this one tree that I really love. This tree, and it has beautiful roots. And sometimes I just sit at the roots. And so this time I kind of I actually like talked to the tree a little bit more, and I said thank you.
Aw. Yeah, that's so great. I love it. Don't you feel such great energy from them?
Oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
do. And they're living organisms, you know, and I think that we've lost respect and harmony with nature in a lot of ways. So how can we come back to that place and be more conscious of living in harmony with our environment, because our soil is what is feeding us, right?
Yeah.
It's where our food is grown.
Yeah.
Besides any processed stuff, which is not good for your stomach, but you know, and um, cultivating our land, having healthier practices, eating more organic, and all those things to live more in harmony with our health. Because when nature is healthy, then we're also healthy.
Oh yeah. I've always said that we're ancient bodies living in a modern world. And also, when I coach a client in nutrition, I'll always ask them something like, "Would your great grandmother serve that on her table?" Right? And or I remember watching a scene in a movie where a girl went to go visit her aunt, and she just said, she goes, "Well, let me fix you something to eat." You know, she had a long trip, and she goes, "Oh, that's okay. I'm not really that hungry. I've got an energy bar. I'll just eat that." And she goes, "This is the South. We don't eat energy bars." And that, you know, or you're in the home of a Southern woman that, you know, is used to eating healthy food and
Yeah,
grown from the garden. And she goes, "We don't eat energy bars," you know, that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, so true.
because we're moving so fast. We're
Yes.
grabbing something and going, and it's
Yeah.
not to our best interest, really, over the
No,
long run.
no,
But yeah.
exactly.
Well,
Well,
Sherry, man, it's just been such a pleasure, you know, to have this conversation with you. I'm so happy to have you here on the show, and
oh, thank
um,
you so much. It's been
maybe
an honor.
we can have you on again and continue these conversations.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Uh, yeah, no, just I appreciate you having me on, and if anybody is interested in getting their book written or struggling with that, I'd love to visit with them about it. They can
Awesome.
find me at sherrywritesforyou.com.
Awesome. I highly recommend you, and we'll share your
Uh,
information as well.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Sherry.